Welcome to safety training for extension ladders. As with step ladders, employees should never carry supplies, tools, or materials up or down a ladder that prevent the safe use of ladders. This means 3 points of contact, 1 hand and 2 feet, or 2 hands and 1 foot the entire time you're traveling up and down the ladder. Your belly does not count as a point of contact. There are numerous ways to get tools, equipment, and supplies to the roof or platform from which you're working, or down from the roof or platform from which you're working. When using an extension ladder, you want to make sure that the surface for which this extension ladder extends up from is not slippery. If you're going to install an extension ladder and the surface is covered with ice or snow or an interior surface that is wet or greasy, you want to make sure that you have a non-skid device, a non-slip device at the bottom of the ladder. Ladders will not be placed on boxes, barrels, or other unstable bases in order to obtain additional height. Ladders will not be moved, shifted, or extended while occupied, and never use a ladder that is held in place solely by another person or two. In this last situation, you end up with 3 injured workers and a potentially injured innocent bystander. Just how many things are wrong with this? The plank below the orange ladder is supported by a ladder. Never supposed to support planks between ladders. The base of the orange ladder is set on a snow-covered surface and does not have an anti-slippage device. The base of the orange ladder is set on an unstable support. As weight is added to that ladder, that plank will bend. And the orange ladder is a step ladder being used as an extension ladder. Almost everything they could do wrong, they did wrong with this setup. The base section of the ladder shall be placed on a secure and level footing. When necessary, ladder levelers shall be used to achieve equal rail support on uneven surfaces. It's important that only lateral rail levelers supplied by the manufacturer for the specific ladder in use be used in the field. When ladders are used for access to an upper landing surface, such as a roof or a platform, the side rails shall extend no less than 3 feet above the landing surface to which the ladder is used to gain that access. Ladders labeled bad on this slide do not extend far enough beyond the roof or platform to which they are providing access. Extension ladders must have the base of the ladder 1 foot out for every 4 feet the ladder extends. If the 4-to-1 aspect ratio cannot be used, then the ladder must be tied off at the top and either tied off or blocked from slipping at the bottom, and the worker needs to have fall protection. 1-to-4 aspect ratio. So if it's a 16-foot tall ladder, it needs to be 4 feet out. Extension ladders should always be erected so that the extension section or the top section of the ladder is above and resting on the base section of the ladder, and that the rung locks are engaged. Work must be conducted with the body near the middle of the step or rung of the ladder and shall not overreach from that position. When necessary to avoid overreaching, the employee has to descend the ladder and reposition the ladder so that they can complete their project without the overreach. When it's not practical to work with the body near the middle of the ladder or facing the rungs, the ladder shall be secured at the top, and the employee shall be protected by a personal fall protection system. 3 points of contact are not required while working on a ladder. Do not stand on any of the top 3 rungs of the ladder, which is required by Cal OSHA. Any ladder used for more than 1 trip up or down must be tied off. Never lean off the ladder while working unless both the ladder and you are tied off properly, as noted on the last slide. Remember, if your belt buckle is not facing towards the ladder, or if either hip is outside the ladder, or if you must lift a foot to conduct your work, you're leaning too far, and both the ladder and you need to be tied off. It is not permitted to stand or work on the top 3 rungs of a single or extension ladder, unless the ladder is tied off and personal fall protection is used. Extension ladders can be heavy. Be sure 2 people carry the heavy ladder. Don't let the ladder drag on the ground. And 2 people help extend the ladder when it's heavy enough to require it. When lowering a ladder, heavy or not, use 2 people if you cannot lower the upper section of the ladder before tilting it away from the building or platform. When tilting an extended extension ladder, the center of gravity is further away from your body, and less weight can be more difficult to handle than if you can completely collapse the extension ladder before tilting it sideways as it comes down off of the building. Okay, safety for extension ladders training review. Never carry tools, equipment, or materials that prevent you from facing the ladder and having 3 points of contact at all times while going up or down the ladder. 3 points of contact for going up or down a ladder is 2 hands and 1 foot, or 1 hand and 2 feet. When working on a ladder, your belt buckle should always face the rungs of the ladder unless you have fall protection and the ladder is tied off. Ladders should have slippage controls when used on wet or slippery surfaces. Never set a ladder on anything except a solid surface. If more height is needed, get a longer ladder. When the ground is uneven, always use a rail extension device produced by the manufacturer of that particular ladder. Extension ladders should always be set up with a 4-to-1 ratio. For every 4 feet up, the base of the ladder needs to be 1 foot out. The base section of the ladder should always be behind the extension section with the rung locks locked in place. All ladders used for more than one trip up or down should be tied off at the top. And heavy ladders should be moved, put in place, and removed from use by 2 workers. Thank you for listening. Please proceed to the quiz for extension ladder safety.